So last year around Christmas time, I went to a bar because they was having a special on drinks. But anyways, three men came in a little bit after me and sat at the bar right next to me. Now, of course, I didn't speak to them or nothing because I don't know them, but I did hear their conversation. They were talking about the Christmas presents they got for their wives. Now, the first guy was like, I bought my wife a Louis Vuitton handbag and a Prada handbag. So if she doesn't like the Louis Vuitton handbag, she could just take the Prada handbag. I was thinking to myself, ooh, what a good man. But anyways, the second guy said he bought his wife a blue Ferrari and a red Ferrari. So if she doesn't like the blue Ferrari, she could drive the red one. I said to myself, good God, where do these women find these type of men? Now the third guy said he bought his wife a pair of socks and a dildo. The first guy asked him, now why would you get your wife a pair of socks and a dildo? And honestly, I was wondering the same thing. That's when the third guy looked at him and said, because if she doesn't like her socks, she can go F herself. So yesterday, my husband and I went out on a date. We went to this Chinese restaurant because we heard they had a special on something called the chicken surprise. Well, when we first got to the restaurant, the waiter sat us down and took our order, and about 10 minutes later, she was bringing us our meal. The meal came in an iron pot with a lid on it. And just as I'm about to serve myself, I seen the lid of the pot slowly rising. The disturbing part was I seen two little bitty eyes right up under the lid looking around. And 2 minutes later, the lid slammed back down. I was so shocked, I asked my husband, did he see that? And he said he didn't, so I asked him to look inside the pot. And as soon as he reaches for the pot, the lid started rising again. That's when he seen two little eyes looking around before the lid slammed shut. And my husband was so furious, so he called the waiter back to our table and told her to explain to us what is happening. That's when she was like, please, sir, tell me what you ordered. My husband told her that we ordered the chicken surprise. The waiter looked at us and said, so sorry, I bring you Peking duck by mistake. When my cousin was in the army, one time he got stationed in the desert. Well, anyways, this was his first time being in the desert, so another soldier had to show him around. And while the soldier was showing him around, my cousin noticed that a camel was randomly tied to a tent. So he asked the soldier why was the camel tied to the tent, and at first the soldier didn't answer the question. He just stood there looking awkward. Then he finally said, well, sir, as you know, there is no women on the base. So the camel is there when the men get certain urges. And my cousin just nodded his head. He said, well, I don't condone in this behavior, but I suppose I understand. Well, a few weeks go by and my cousin started to feel these urges himself. So he told a soldier to bring the camel to his tent. Then he went outside for some privacy and made love to the camel. And after he was finished, he climbed off the stool he used to reach the camel. Then he turned around and seen a soldier staring at him with his eyes wide open. My cousin just started grinning. Then he said, so, is this how you boys do it here? The soldier still had his eyes wide open. Then he said, no, sir, we usually just ride the camel into the nearby town where the women are. So I used to be a madam at a brothel that was located in Florida. And I remember one night these two drunk men stopped at the brothel on their way home. Well, anyways, I thought they were easy targets, so I told the girls to put the men in separate rooms with blow-up dolls, hoping they was too drunk to notice that the blow-up dolls weren't real women. And I also did this so my girls could get a break. But anyways, I had the security on standby just in case something went wrong. And everything went smooth. The men were done in like an hour, and I also heard their conversation as they were leaving the brothel. I was trying not to eavesdrop, but I wanted to hear how their experience was. Well, apparently one of the men thought his girl was dead. And when his friend asked him why, he said because she was very cold and didn't move or make a sound. Then his friend said, well, I think mine was a witch. The first man said, well, I wouldn't doubt it because mine was dead, but why do you think yours was a witch? That's when his friend looked at him and said, well, when I bit her butt, she farted in my face and flew out the window.